Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast, The Questions in a Life. I'm Penella, your host, and today's guest is Rafael Soto. I'm very excited to welcome a true legend in the world of dressage to the podcast. Not only known as master rider and a former Olympic medalist, he's also the heart and soul of Spanish dressage. Rafael has inspired generations of equestrians with his artistry, the lightness with which he rides, and his unmistakable charisma. From his unforgettable freestyle performances that captivated the world, to his role as head rider and director of the Spanish riding school in Jerez, his influence has reached far beyond the arena. But what sets Rafael apart is not just his skills, but the joy, the passion, and generosity he brings to every ride and every teaching moment. Rafael reminds us all that dressage, at its core, is an art form between horse and rider. So, I'm very happy to have you here today, Rafael.
Thank you, Marina.
So, to start the conversation, I have often heard people, they always describe how when they see you ride, about the feel and the harmony you have with the horse. And I'd really like to know, when did you first realize that you have this highly developed feel for the horse?
Well, thank you. And for me, good morning, because we are early morning here in Europe.
Yes.
And it's very nice that you asked this, because today we will have the freestyle of the European Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Including my horse, I saw the last 2 days, the day before yesterday and Friday. And there will be a very nice moment today, because there will be the freestyle, the best 18 horses in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, everything in my life come from family. As not many people know, my father and my granddad, they were all professional on the riding and horses world. And I start very, 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 very young with my dad
Mm-hmm.
and my brother, riding and training horses. So when I was just very, 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 very a kid, I was already on a horse doing pirouette passage and pirouettes and changes. And as many people know, out of that, I was 40 years at the school.
Mm-hmm.
I was chief rider, and this allowed me to find and to ride many good horses. And I was fascinated for the Spanish horse, and because I saw these horses all my life. As I have a lot of contacts in Europe, because I travel a lot to teach. Then I met many, 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 many good riders and people that they really take me to the way of the dressage very soon, very soon. And my dream was to be an Olympic rider. And well, sometimes the dream came true, and this came true on me, and also with a Spanish horse. And this is why I could be been in 3 Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was in Sydney in 2000, and then 3 World Equestrian Games and 5 times in the European Championship. And I was also 5 times Spanish champion, always with Spanish horses. But this is why all what I learned on this long time, and from the riders, the trainers, and the horse especially, I try to transmit to people around the world. When I go to Australia to teach, to Denmark, to England, to Holland, everywhere in the world, to America. So for me, it's an honor to help the people to have a good connection with the horses.
Yes.
It's so important, the connection. Without that connection, you cannot understand the horse. The horse should be able to understand you. and you have to understand the horse, of course. It's like a same person. It's the horse and the rider should be so together. Then it looks like the same person, same thing, same animal.
Mm.
You want to achieve that kind of connection and communication.
Mm. So when you're teaching around the world with all your clinics and you're seeing a lot of riders, what do you find is the biggest problems that most riders they have that you have to help them with?
The communication
Yeah.
between the rider and the horse. As many people knows, everybody, the horse is an animal that normally the horses, when they leave just alone, like wild horses, they need to have a leader to follow.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have a leader to follow. And then the leader has to be correct leader. Don't be tough, of course. Don't be too soft or without any personality to make the horse understand that he can follow you and he can trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing. When you understand that the horse has to feel and see on you his leader, and then the relationship between the horse and the rider then goes okay, no problem. But
Mm.
in the moment the horse is it's in not the right communication with the rider, then there will be problems and issues, and this is my job to try to make the rider understand how to do that and how to get in contact with the horses, how to give the right aids that
Yes.
the horse can understand easy what he wants. And of
Mm.
course, one of the more important things to be a rider is to have a good balance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you sit on a horse, the first thing you need is balance. Out of that, then you need the right communication with the horse. That's the
Yes.
only thing. It's very simple.
It's
It
very
looks
simple
very
but very
complicated, but it's
difficult.
not. It looks difficult and complicated, but it's not. It's not. It's only communication.
So
Only one thing.
when you get on your horse in the morning, the first
Mhm.
horse, what's the first thing you look for when you get on? Like what do you feel for?
The horse has to feel you sit properly and sure about yourself.
Mm.
If you're not sure about yourself, the horse can feel this very quick. Very,
Yes.
very quick.
Okay, and that then ties back to what you just said before.
And then, of course, you need the system to work your horse. Every horse um, needs to understand the rider, and the key is has a good system to work your horse, to train your horse every day.
Yeah.
Depends, of course, in the age of the horse. Of course, it's not the same to work a young horse, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 year old, and to work a Grand Prix horse. But more or less, it's the same. You need to have the clear system how to start your work every day with him.
And do you have a very clear system that you take your riders through?
I try to have, but I have to say that I learn every day in every place where I've been and I go normally. I I learn very much and very quick from the rider and from the horse, especially from the horse. The horse tell me, okay, we need more, be more leading the horse, or more quiet and nice and supple and calm with the aids. Depends on the horse, because every horse is different. But it's very clear that you have to use a system um, with very, very well um, things clear. How you start your walk, your trot, your canter, your transition, and use correctly. Especially for me, it's very important to know how to use your work in one track and in two tracks,
Yeah.
because the horse has to be supple enough in the body. When the horses are free, you can see them. They are supple. They trot, they canter, they move. Very supple, very easy.
Mm.
At the end, a riding system should be the same. The horse should look the same as he move in the nature with the walk, trot, canter. Even when you do high level, like the Grand Prix level, then you need the horse needs to show that he's moving like him, like self, like he's without the rider,
Yeah. Carrying
and that's the
himself. Yeah.
carrying himself. And to do that, you need a clear system. You need to do the three gaits of the horse correctly: the walk, the trot, the canter, and to have a correctly mix between your one track work and your two tracks work. That means you have to use correctly all the figures in the that are there since centuries ago.
Yes.
The circle, the 10-meter circle, the diagonal, the serpentine, every single um, figure, and then know when to do the straight work or when to do a side work in the walk and the trot and the canter, and transitions. You have all kind of transition to do that and to make the horse ready in his balance, because your job is to balance the horse. Because if you don't lead that balance, then could be unhealthy for the horse, because the horse alone, free, he moves how he wants. But when you are riding on him, you have to lead that balance and improve that balance. And then once you do that on the right way, the horse looks nice in balance. Much more difficult that he could be have problem of unhealthy movements that makes his maybe have an injury or something like this. This is why sometimes when I many times when I teach to people who has some problem with the horses of obedience or self courage and collection and stretching and balance, I always try to show the same way of working from the walk, from the trot, from the canter, and transition back and forward is the main thing to control that balance and improve the balance on the horse. Once the horse does that, then the horse feels much more sure, and he allowed you to control him perfectly, no problem, and he trusts you. He trusts you, and he goes where you want.
Could you tell us a bit more about the left-right balance? Because clearly a horse, like a human, is either, stronger one side than the other. So
Mm,
could you talk a bit more about that, the left-right balance, so that we do
yeah,
come into the center?
yeah. Normally, uh, I saw around the world that most of horses really old and all his life, because it's like us, we are not symmetric. We are not symmetric.
Yeah.
And then we have to find on the horse the right way to work the strong and stiff side, and let's say the weak and the easy side to bend, but we have to work both sides to make more and more straight horse. It's all about the straightness. There was a great rider in Saumur in France in the Cadre Noir. His name is General Lot. He says the in France says is calme, droite et en avant. You have to be calm with the horses, make them straight and forward. That means with enough impulsion that they can carry themselves. That's it. These three words are the main thing. And then how to do that? Some horses need more side work in one side than the other to make them easy. Of course, you need to use very very well his neck. The neck of the horse is the muscle more important because you can stretch and collect. And if you control the neck, then you control the contact, and then you control the rest of the body of the horse. The neck. The neck is the main. How you use the neck, if you can stretch that neck, collect that neck, bending on the right, on the left, make the supple with the circles, with the shoulder in that gilding, and out of that the travers, rambert, how passes in the three gates, and how to push him forward and come back. If you have a clear way to do that, then your horse will get better and better, and of course more self-courage, better for his healthy, better for your healthy, and you have a horse with you. The horse will listen to you and will follow you everywhere. 100.
Maybe that's where you could talk about all the in-hand work you do, because you start the horses off with doing the in-hand work and teaching them from an early age the piaffe. So has that something to do with how you develop the balance, so they're coming back on the hind leg? Is that part of it?
That's a very important part. Not just much before I started in the school in Jerez.
Yeah.
I with my dad, he was an expert in working hand. Working hand comes very, very back in history. You see, for example, the great schools in Europe, like Vienna, has over 400 years, and they would do the working hand, and quite early. So I even with 4 years old horses, I always use a bit, some days a week, a little bit working hand, just to improve the way they engage the hind legs, and to go to the piaffe. You look for the piaffe. Piaffe, what is piaffe? Piaffe is something that you do when the horse do Grand Prix. Not all the horses can do Grand Prix, of course, but all the horses should be able to collect his body, because when you collect the body, then you get balance. You see that in a normal horse, any horse, when he's free, he goes canter, he stops, he collect, he turn. So if he has not the hind legs under, it's not possible to do that. So they do by themselves to balance their own.
Yes.
So you need to improve that with the rider on, or better with not rider on, because I use working hand. Of course, some big horses need a bit more of time, but if you do daily or every week, few days a week, you do a bit of working hand, and this allowed you to have a much better communication with the horse. The horse will trust you more, and he will accept you more, and this will help you a lot to improve his balance and the communication and the future more difficult exercises, of course, because then you will have much more control about his balance and the way he carry himself.
Yes. Yeah. So the work in hand is really something that you do always, whether young horse or an older horse. It's something you do always.
Always. It's indispensable. Once I have a young horse already broken, and he trusts me, always before riding, I already start to use him in hand to make a bit shoulder in or right or left hand, a little circle, little trot, rein back, and again a little circle, little trot, rein back, a little bit touching, using your voice, just a bit, a tiny and nice and light, a little touch with the wheel, just to communicate that he has to move his hind leg under his body.
Yeah.
When you got this every day, or a few days a week, then the horse get used, and it's much more easy to train a horse, and more easy to make the horse understand what you want for him. And of
Mm.
course, and then the horse can achieve much better balance that if you only do working on him, you ride on him. He has to see you on the ground. He has to see you at the same level. His eye has to see your eye from the ground. You are in the ground. You look at his eye, so you look him, and he has to know what you want from him.
So
And
even
the
so
best way
even
to
when
do
you're
that,
on the ground doing the in-hand work, your position is very important, like where you place
very
yourself.
important. Yeah, very important. Normally, when the horse doesn't know nothing, it's very green on that, then you have to use a circle to control his reaction. When you do a little circle, then you stay very close to his shoulder. Then you
Hmm.
can bend with your inside rein and you can hold the balance in your outside rein. It's like you put the reins up, one rein is in one hand and the other rein is in the other hand. And then your whip is on your outside hand, your inside hand, bend the horse,
Yeah.
and then you walk him. This is the first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you stop him just to calm him, and the horse get not afraid. The horse needs to be obedient, but not afraid of you. He has to trust you.
Mm.
And then it's like when you launch him a horse, when you start to rocket him. It's something like that, but more developed. So more using the aids to make the horse understand that he has to go in, walk on a circle, go to the trot, go to the walk, transition. Out of that, you go in a straight line. You can do a bit shoulder in. If you get a bit nervous, you come again on the circle, again a bit walk and trot and walk. And then once the horse is quiet, you feel him. Okay, we do rein back to control the way you engage the hind legs. Because the
Hmm.
rein back is something so important. My dad, I remember, he always said to me when I was working the horses, "Oh, Rafa, stop, rein back, rein back." The people, they don't do rein back at all. Right now, they only want to go forward.
Yeah.
No, sorry. You have to go rein back, rein back. The rein back is one of the exercises that helps more to have a good balance on the horse
Mm.
and carry and make the carry himself and also make them obedient and calm and calm. Calm is
Mm.
very important. If the horse get nervous, so then the horses, there are animals that they are not predators. So the first thing they have in the brain is to escape. They're afraid. They are afraid. Millions years ago, the predator used to eat them. Then when they hear a noise or something that they are not they that the leader cannot control them, then they just want to go and escape. Then to make them calm and do this working hand circle, a bit of the shoulder in, stop, rein back, and again. Oh, that make the horses and stop them. Very important. Very
Mm.
important. When you stop a horse, you control a horse. It's so important.
Yeah.
One time, I met a person um, in in Americas, the Indians, they used to they got no horses in America. There was only the Spanish brings the horses to America.
Yeah.
The first one was Cristobal Columbus 500 years ago, and because there were no horses there. Then the Indians used to hunt without horses, but once they saw the horses, they are very good riders, very good riders. They start to hunt with a horse. And then to train the horses, they used to put the horses when they're young into the water in the river and then jump on them because they don't have the way to launch him and they
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
know about classical skill of equitation. But they know that if the horse can be stopped and not moving, the horse get calm
Hmm.
and trust the rider.
Mm.
Then if you just move and jump and run, then he's very doesn't trust the rider. He should trust the rider. Then they put the horses in the water really. Then they jump on, and they also don't move because in
Yes.
the water they cannot move. So they
They're
stay.
calm.
They stay still, and then they start to trust the rider. They feel the rider on top of them, and then the rider start to move right and left, turn around, and then once you go out of the water, the horse start to trust you and get confident, and then you go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's very simple, but it's more or less the same. Of course, the horse has been an animal very important for the humans. It helps. The horse helps to that the humans move around the world, and there has been uses for because the strength of the horse. Still, all the engines they have horsepower.
Mm.
All the engines, the cars, they have horsepower. Why? Because they measure the power of an engine, of a car or a tractor or whatever in horsepower. Horsepower,
Yes.
power of the horse. But
Mm.
then you have to control that power because if you don't control power, don't forget this is a big animal and can damage you a lot if you don't know how to treat them. So it's why it's so important to make the horse understand that he has to be obedient and calm.
Mm.
And then when you have a horse like that, then it's easy to work with him for the horse and for the rider.
Yeah. So, all you said you were at the Spanish riding school for 40 years. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So tell us about that. Tell about like from when you started there, and all that you have learned through all the years that you sort of have been.
Yeah. Of course, as I said to you, that the history of my life started with my dad
Yep.
in his riding center many years until my father was a very very good friend of Álvaro Domecq. He's the man who created the school, and he's the man who really pushed the equitation and the dressage with the Spanish horses on the world
Mm-hmm.
because he and his father they got a lot of relationship and good communication in the world of the horse in Europe. They were good friends from Alois Podaski, who was one of the chief more important chief riders on Vienna,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the Second World War, and he saved the horses in that war because School of Vienna has been so important for the classical equitation because the classical equitation is just the way you train the horse proper way and with a system that helps the horse to understand all what they talk about the balance, the way to make the horses straight, supple, together, engage the horse in the collection, stretching, go forward and come back. And this is all about dressage is go and come back, go and come back, go and come back. When you control that in the horse, then you have a trained horse. You can go from a young horse level, 4 5 years old, up to the Grand Prix horse.
Mm.
Or you have there's a lot of years of training in between. But it's indispensable that and in the classical schools like Vienna works a lot, work in hand because they use this way to have a better understanding with the horse and balance the horse better. And this is something they used to do always. And Mr. Domecq, who was there like a student before he created a school in Jerez, then he transmit us all that. And of course, my dad also, because he got a lot of experience in working in hand and all the other things. But I also learned a lot, of course, in the school with other uh, masters and trainers I got. And of course, especially also when I start my sport career, that's been very important
Yes.
to have that basic behind it. And I was member in the team uh, from the beginning on, because as many people don't know, the Spanish team, there was no Spanish team before the Olympic Games in Barcelona in '92.
Oh.
After Barcelona, there was only a single rider in Barcelona. There was some single riders, but never a team, never a team.
Mm.
And this was this man, Mr. Domecq, who went to the Olympic Games in Barcelona just to watch. And when he came back to school in Jerez, I remember he says to me and to all the other riders, "We can do that. We can make our horses go into the Olympics." And it was true. That happened.
Yes.
Some years later, we got at that time some generation of horses with a very good quality, and with the help of the trainers that the federation in Spain found in Germany, like Jürgen Koschel and especially Jan Bebelmans. Then we make the team who goes to the European in Luxembourg in '95, and then Olympic Games in '96 in Atlanta, '97 European, '98 World Equestrian Games, '99 European, 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, and step by step,
Yep.
with no history at all, we go from nothing to a medal.
Yeah.
That's really
Tell us
something
about
very
that. Tell
important.
us about that, Rafael, when that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, look, sometimes when we were in Germany, because we normally, especially when we have Olympic Games, we have our horses in Germany riding and competing. Mr. Bebelman, which I have a lot of good relation with him, is a very good friend. He used to tell me, "Okay, Rafa, why don't you do a little bit of work in hand with your horse? Look, our horses, they always do very well." And then sometimes when he has other clients and rider and other horses that he used to ride himself, say, "Rafa, can you help me a little bit with the work in hand?" Yeah, no problem. And even many people in and professionals in all around the world, they 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 need the help of someone else who can do work in hand properly, because helps a lot to make the horses much better, easy, and more obedient and more sure about, especially for the collection. For
Mm.
the piaffe is the main thing in the collection. It's
Yeah.
not because the piaffe is very nice and looks very beautiful on a horse. It's because it's very important to balance the body, to balance the body, and to balance his brain, and to horse accept that collection. Collection is very important, because if you have no collection in a horse, then you have no balance, and
Mm.
this is very unhealthy for the horse. Okay, the horse is, of course, you can, if you have a thoroughbred to run in Melbourne, you don't need the Piaf, no, because you just run. But 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 if the horse knows a little bit, even the thoroughbred, a little bit, just in the hand, turn left, right, make circle, rein back, it helps a lot to have a better contact in your hand. And then when you have a better contact, you can go in this line or turn to the other line much more easy, no matter if you go full speed. But if you don't have that and you don't train the contact of your horse, even a thoroughbred needs a dressage to understand that.
Mm.
And you will have a better horse to win the Melbourne Cup if you have that, than
Mm.
if you don't have
Good tip.
nothing. You don't have no control in your hand, and just the horse is crazy.
Yeah.
If he's crazy, he just burn his strength, and then you have no horse. The horse,
Mm.
even very good story, right? Need to, oh, come on, wait to go. Now you can go. Now wait. Now go. Now wait. Now go. If you don't do that, I'm sure you don't win the Melbourne Cup. and it's just racing. It's not dressage, but it's dressage. Everywhere are dressage. Dressage is the main thing. A jumping horse. I saw the best riders in the world jumping in Aachen in the Olympic Games, and believe me, their horses are very well trained, super well trained. If you don't have that, you don't jump 1 meter 60 in 20 fences. No. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So,
Sure.
so tell us about when you went to Athens with Envasor. Tell us about that.
Okay, everything comes step by step. You never are able to go from 0 to 100 just like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that. And first, think about that when the first competition of Invasor was at the Olympics in Atlanta, but he was only 7 at that time.
Wow.
They was able to do, but of course, a 7-year-old horse there. Oh my God! My first Olympic game, and the horse he was not at all. And I took that horse because my first horse Flamenco got a problem, and Invasor was the reserve horse of Ignacio and me. And then I took that. But there's nothing to do with that horse when he was 7, and that horse when he was 8, 9, 10, 11 when he was at the Olympic in Sydney, and 15 when he was in Athens.
Yeah.
So you go from doing 64 to doing 74. This is not the same.
No.
It's not the same. Then you need to work on that balance a lot. And then if you need to have a program to work, very important. How you start every day, how you stretching, how you collecting, how you use this side 2 tracks work properly, how you use the in the counter go and come back, how you do the side works in canter, how you improve the strainer before the flying chains, the collection, the pirouettes, Pia Passage. Okay, it's maybe a little bit more easy with the Spanish horse, a little bit more easy, but they don't do themselves. That you have to control that the horse, make them understand make the horse understand the way you have. He has to work. He has to balance his body. And look, he did in his life. He was 5-time Spanish champion, 3 Olympic Games, 3 World Cruising Games, and 4 European Championships. So, and he died with 24 years old. And the people has to know that he was a horse from the school. So he started the show at the school until he was like 7, 8 years old. And then at that moment, okay, we took it out of the show because he was doing a super job as a member of the Spanish team dressage.
Yes.
And then he was a bit outside the show. But when he finished in his last World Cruising Game was in Aachen, 2006, he came back to the show.
Wow.
Yeah. And I used to do with him his freestyle, but dressing in the way of the school. I think I have a photo here. I can show you.
Yes.
I can show you here. It's a very nice photo of him with a saddle and with everything of the school. I can show you here. Look, and it's very nice to see him. Look, this is at the Olympic Games, and now this is the photo in the school.
Oh yeah, there. Yes.
See,
that's good.
Jerez with a gala show, and look, it's the same horse.
That looks
and
good.
This was after the photo at the Olympics in Athens, was his last Olympic when he got a silver medal in team and 8 individual. He was 8 individual.
Wow.
It was just behind the best horses in the world, the best warm blood in the world. For me, it's an
He
honor.
was a good horse.
Oh, it was a fantastic horse, very good horse. And you know that not many riders in the school, they appreciate him when he came. He was very big and not very elegant, uh, but he got a super brain,
Mm.
super brain. The
Yes.
brain is very important. It's like the people with no brain, it's not possible to do nothing. Of course, after he got a super canter, um, so much strength, and he sits like amazing, like
Mm.
amazing. You see it maybe from there. You see it in
Oh,
my
yes.
screen.
Yes.
In Barcelona doing a Piaf. He
Yes.
got Piaf for 10. Now, many times when I saw the competition, a Piaf like him, oh my God, it's very difficult to have a Piaf like him. The
Yes.
Piaf was in his nature.
That was,
It was
yes.
amazing Piaf. Amazing, amazing. But then after you have to develop many other things, make the horse
Yeah.
supple, the back, carry himself, make a lot of stretching, how to stretch the body of the horse and how to use the neck. This I learned a lot in Europe, and this is what I teach now everywhere where I go. Is a system that helped me. That the one of the responsible to do that system is Imazor, because Imazor helped me to create a system the way I work the horses from the beginning till the end.
Yeah.
And every depends, of course, in the level of the horse and the and how old is the horse. So it's not the same young horse 4 or 5 years old, or a horse with 7, 8, or already a Grand Prix horse. But more or less, it's the same way you
Mm.
collect, you stretch, you collect, you stretch, and you use the 1 track and the 2 track. That's it. And of
But
course, working hand.
Rafael, back to the Olympics on
Yeah,
Invasa in Vasor at
yeah,
Athens when you did your freestyle.
yes.
Yes. Tell us, how did it feel when you rode in to do your
Okay.
test?
Yeah, that's these things sometimes is something very difficult to feel because in Athens uh, um, he was in the moment his best moment in the best moment of his life. He was amazing with me. The communication we got was so strong and so nice. Um, it's at that time he and me we make a team. There was the same thing. The horse and the rider were together, so much together that I can feel every little thing on him. And of course, we got a very good understanding. And then in the freestyle, once you have that emotion, it's like the equitation get another
Mhm.
level, like like art. Yeah? And I feel so proud with the horse. And of course, my way of riding maybe is a bit different because I learned from my dad. I born in Andalusia in Jerez, and then when we feel with the horse, we are together. We have another expression, another way of doing the things, you know. And no, and it was like magic, like really magic. There was this 6 minutes in my life, more magic I ever had,
Yeah.
and and I thanks, but without system of training, and it is not possible.
Mm.
But when you have that, when you feel that communication, it's like something magic, and this is what happened with him in in Athens. And I am very glad that many people can see that. And so one time they said to me, "Oh, you are a showman." No, no, no. So I'm not a showman in the bad way. No, 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 no. I feel my horse. I'm very proud of my horse. I want to show my horse, and maybe the way I see it or I look could be little bit different than someone very stiff and very not so stiff. The horses, when you get too stiff, they feel you something happened, and and the horse feels me and I feel him, and there was 6 minutes very magic in my life, the more magic moments of my life.
Yeah. So once you had then been to the Olympics, and you received your medal, what changed? Did your life change after that? The direction of what you did? Like, what followed on from that experience?
Oh, it changed a lot because I always teach people to ride since I was very young at my father's yard. But the level of knowledge that I got it after all the experience of 3 Olympics and see the best riders in the world and see the best trainers training the horses and the riders and all the experience of my dad and all the experience in the school, then I was always very, very, I like to train. It's not easy. Not everybody is good to train, You need to have a lot of psychology and patience, very important. And then the way I train and the way I teach, it changed a lot. And I have to say that after my Olympic Games, this happened 20 years ago, a little bit 20, 21 years ago. The knowledge I have at that time, it's just 50% what the knowledge I have now. Why? Because the experience of training teach you a lot and see many different horses, many different riders and problems and issues, and that's helped me to improve. And I in the moment I saw a horse, just without the rider on him, I know exactly the problem the horse has straight away. I know the steep side, what to do in the beginning, how to continue the work, how to help the rider and the horse to improve.
Actually, Rafael, then to start to finish off with, I have a few little questions, and there are a few sayings that I have picked up on over the years that you always say, and there's a few of them. What you say is, you will say, for example, "Wake him up." That's one. That's one of the phrases you like to use.
Wake him up. Wake him up. It's what the general in Saumur says. En avant, forward. Wake it up. Wake. The horse has to be wake to stay with you. It has to be wake up.
Okay, and another one you use, and you always you say that to the riders more than to the horse, but you always say, organize yourself. Organize yourself. What do you mean?
Okay, organize yourself is to be seated, to find your balance, your seat, your center of gravity. Without that, it's impossible to give the correct aids. You have to use your seat to be on a correct balance. And the center of gravity has to be on your seat and on your legs. Without that, you cannot use the legs properly. And of course, the horse don't understand you.
Yeah. The other thing I have noticed that you will say, he's ready. What do you see in the horse when you say that? You say, he's ready.
I see this very, very quick from far away. When the horse is ready, he's ready to do now. And I also see when there is a little imbalance, it's going to be a mistake, and it comes.
Yeah.
I saw it, I think it was yesterday, no, the day before, Friday, when Catherine Dufour, he was leading the Grand Prix Special, and suddenly she takes the corner to go to the flying changes every stride. And I saw something in the mare, something. And she started tempo changes. When he was like the 5, 6 tempo changes, then he makes 2 or 3 mistakes. And that take it to the second position. And just that. And I saw the balance of the mare already before happening. I can see this very often,
You
very
can
quick,
see it. Yeah.
very quick, very quick, very
Now,
quick.
Rafael, then the last one then is the other one that I like, is when you say, as a rider, we need to know when to stop. That's the other one
Yeah,
you
oh,
use.
this is very important. This is my dad teach me that, because he always said to me when I was young, he says, Rafa, you remember, the more important thing is to stop, when to finish. Because everybody knows when to stop. He starts riding and then train his horse. But then maybe sometimes we overdo or we don't do enough. And the horse goes to the stable with a bad lessons on his brain. Because the horses are animals. For me, I think they're not clever like a dog, but they have a lot of memory. And they need to go to finish when there was something good in the way they behave and they do. If you do that, the next day, the horse is ready for work again.
Yes.
But if he goes to home, to the stable, to rest, with a bad thing there, no. Always with a good thing in the brain. And then many people, what they do is they overdo. And you have to do something that for me has been very important with Imazon. Make the horse ready to do the exercise, but don't do the exercise so much. Just make it ready. Every exercise, the pirouettes, the changes, they needs to get the horse ready. So prepare to do, not do. Many people they just want go and do. No. Prepare the balance to do, but don't do too much. Never.
Yeah.
Never too much. And this is the key, that the horse gets fresh and ready for you every time, and obedient, and want to work with you. And that's
Work
very
with you.
important. And this is
That's
something,
important.
it's a technique that you have to do. You have to practice this in the training, in the daily training. It's bad to do too much, and it's also bad not to do enough.
Okay.
It's to have the correct balance. That's the key.
And then to
Okay.
finish off, Rafael, the last little question. If you could whisper a message into the heart of every equestrian, what would that be?
Could be this.
Yes.
Finish on time. Finish on time.
Okay.
That's the key. Finish on time. This helped me to train many horses and to teach many people to finish on time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really
hope
enjoyed it.
Everybody enjoy. And of course we will see soon in Melbourne.
You will.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you, Rafael. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed it and found lots of wisdom and inspiration to take with you. Until next time, ride the way you want to live.